Welcome to the Ageless Knees coaching video, where we're going to be breaking down each individual exercise to make sure that you're doing them correctly at home. I have my assistant Tanya here, who's going to help us, and we're going to walk through, and we're actually going to start with our Miracle Massage Wand that you got in your package, and we're going to go over how we're going to use it to activate and recharge your muscles utilizing acupuncture and electrical stimulation. So I'm going to start by having Tanya hold on to it. I'm going to have her grab it like she's holding on to a wrench. Nice contact on her hand, because it is a two-way system, so you need to have the first point of contact being your hand. So now what I'm going to have her do, I'm going to have her put the tip of the unit right onto her outer quad muscle. Perfect, just like that. And we're gonna have her turn the unit on by pressing the down button. And I'm actually gonna have her press it twice. So now she's on level 1. Do you feel anything?
A little.
A little bit. So I would instruct you to press the down button to the level that you'd like it. It could be from 1 to 9. So I see Tanya, she's gonna work her way. She's on 2, is where she's getting a nice activation on the quad muscle. So what we're doing is we're pumping some electricity through her outer quad muscle, just jump starting these muscles dormant that you might not have been using. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna slowly work her way down the lateral aspect of her quad. So holding it there for about 5 seconds a piece, and then moving it down a couple inches. Now what we're doing is we're just following that muscle, creating a nice chain down the leg, down the hip, and she can keep moving it. So every 5 seconds, she's going to be moving it a little bit further down until she makes it towards her ankle. Good. Now she's right at that lateral aspect of the knee, which is going to be great for providing that stability for your ageless knees. Now we're working our way through the calf muscle. Beautiful. And you can go a little bit more. Let's come down here. Nice. Are you getting some nice activation in there?
Yeah.
Good, good. What's it feel like to you?
Like mild tingling, mild pins and needles. Like doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But I can just feel that tingling sensation.
Cool. So let's actually start back now. We're going to go down the hamstrings, and she's going to move about 3-4 inches down every 5 seconds, really activating that muscle. Now, I know Tanya mentioned before that she was feeling that tingling sensation. Now, what that is electricity shooting through those nerves, and you're going to get that dampening of those nerve fibers, which is actually a little bit good for pain relief and helping you on your journey forward. So as she's getting a little lower, that's great, and just right towards the end of the ankle, and that's the last one. And then we're going to start back up at the top, and we're going to go through the medial portion of the quad. Awesome. Good. So she's actually getting a nice little jumping going on. She's going to hold for 5. Perfect. And she's coming down. And really what we're trying to do while we're using this Miracle Massage Wand is we're trying to activate all of the muscles of the knee, really getting that circular 360-degree activation required to build stability and strength of the knee. Fantastic. That looks great. And I would say that's one of the best ways to get activation through mind-muscle connection. This is step 2, which is our sideline quad stretch. So Tanya is laying on the floor. We actually have a towel here, because sometimes the floor could get a little bit hard, so it's good to have a little bit of, towel in there to keep some of the pressure off your hip, to make sure that you're comfortable and actually are able to focus on getting a nice stretch in your quad. So we're gonna have her nice and sideline. We're gonna have her use your left arm and reach back and grab the crook of your ankle here. Now, before you start pulling in completely, what I want you to do is make sure your knee is pointed straight down. I want to make sure you flex your abs, keep your abs nice and tight, and then you're also going to flex your glutes. And what that's going to do is going to lock your hips in, so that when you do eventually, now you're going to pull this ankle in, you're going to really feel that nice stretch in the quad, down deep into the knee, and make sure that we're elongating and stretching this muscle. Once you get that nice deep stretch, you're going to hold it for 30 seconds. Now 30 seconds, sometimes, a stretch can be a little bit painful. You want to modulate that to make sure that you are feeling it and getting it in the right spot that you want. And then once that 30 seconds is up, you're going to switch and flip over and do the other side. Here's step 3, which is going to be the hamstring with calf stretch. So we have Tanya lying down. We have our towel making an appearance again. We're going to have her take the towel long ways, rolled up. We're going to start with the right side first. So I'm going to have her straighten her leg all the way down. Perfect, just like that. The towel is going to actually rope around the upper portion of the foot, the balls of the feet, and she's going to grab both sides. Perfect, perfect. Now, so once you're in position, we're actually going to want this other non-stretching leg to come down, which is going to give you a better stretch. We're going to have your toes slightly pointed out at about a 45-degree angle, really pulling down and locking in that calf before you do the hamstring stretch. So locking that in, now what she's going to do is she's going to gently pull it back until she feels that nice stretch all the way down the hamstrings. Now this is all the back of the knee. A lot of times hamstring is one of the main causes of knee pain. So she's going to hold that for about 30 seconds. You feel that nice stretch? Mm-hmm. Where do you feel it mostly?
Behind my knee, actually.
Right behind the knee. And that's really where you want to feel it. So then once 30 seconds is up, we're going to switch to the other side and make sure you're getting that equal stretch bilaterally, meaning you want to be doing everything with both sides equally. Step 4, we're going to be doing the hip flexor stretch. And we have Tanya already set up in her starting position with a towel under her knee, just because our floor is pretty hard. So please use a towel if you have to. So with this starting position, we have her perfectly nice, straight, upright. Chest is nice and high, shoulders are back. We have a 90-degree angle here at her knee. So the actual stretch is going to be performed on the right side. So we're really focusing on this right side. With the hip, so to complete this stretch, she's going to be engaging the core, flexing the abs, flexing her glutes, really locking in those hips before we start this movement. So now that she's locked in, what I'm going to have her do, I'm going to have her just slowly rock her hips forward, pushing her hips forward so that she's getting a little bit knees over the toes and leaning forward. And she should be feeling that stretch deep up high in that hip. And what's really good about stretching the hip out is you want to make sure that your hip is moving in and out at the right range so that you're not causing any knee pain, which is why we include this in our Ageless Knees program. So once she hits 30 seconds, she can come back and we're going to do the other side. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure you're not leaning too far forward or too far back and keeping that constant tension on the hips. So glutes, core, nice shift forward, looks beautiful. Looks great. Step 5, ankle mobility. So like we talked about before, the hip is an important piece, but so is the ankle. The ankle has a lot to do with the knee stability and pain and things of that nature. So we're gonna do some ankle mobility exercises. So we're gonna start with just ankle pumps. So what Tanya's gonna do, we have our towel right underneath the Achilles, just giving her a little bit of clearance underneath her foot so that she's able to maneuver her ankle in a full range of motion. So we're gonna start just by ankle pumps, which is almost like stepping on a gas pedal. She's gonna bring her toes all the way up, 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 up as far as she can, and then all the way down, like she's stepping on a gas pedal as far down as she can. Really kind of maximizing that range of motion, trying to build up that movement in the ankle. So she's gonna go 5 up and down. I think that's 4, or is that 5?
I think that was 4.
That's 5, all the way up, nice. All the way. It should start to burn a little bit too, which means you're actually hitting it right. Now what she's gonna do is go side, which is some eversion and inversion of the ankle. So all the way in, all the way out, making sure that this leg is completely stable. A lot of times people will do these exercises and you'll get, your knee will come back and forth. That's not what we're looking for. We want to make sure that this is perfectly straight, solid, and all of our work is being done here at the ankle. So it should take about 30 seconds to get through your pumps and your ins and outs, and then you're going to switch. So this actually concludes our prehabilitation portion of Ageless Knees, and we're actually going to jump into the rehabilitation stage next. Step 6, quad set with the Miracle Massage Wand and towel. So this is going to be the first exercise to start our rehabilitation portion of the program. And we have Tanya sitting upright against the couch here. So with the quad set, what we're trying to work on is we're trying to work on activating that quad, which is the main muscle of the lower body, which is going to be essential to keeping your knees ageless. So we're going to start by rolling up this towel and putting it underneath one of her knees, just like so. Perfect. So you want to make sure your knee is perfectly straight off the body. So we're going to use our Miracle Massage Wand. I'm going to have Tanya hold it like she was before in her left hand. Perfect. I'm going to have her find that nice spot here right at the top of the quads and turn it on to that number 2 level, which is where she felt it the most. So are you feeling that quad activation?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to get a little bit of a jumpiness in your quad. I think that's really how you know that you're hitting that nerve fiber that's going to get you the most activation. So she found it. We're going to find that nice spot. Now what she's going to do is she's going to bring her toes all the way up. Good, just like that. So, and then she's going to flex the quad for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then relax. So this is a contract, relax exercise, really trying to activate that quad. Now every 5 seconds, she's going to repeat that. So as 5 seconds goes on, you can contract again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Perfect. She's really trying to bring that toe up, squeeze that quad, and drive that knee down into the towel. And let's get one more. Squeeze. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can see that awesome quad activation, that's what you're looking for when you're doing this exercise. Step 7, we're going to do our adductor squeeze with our towel. Once again, we have Tanya laying flat on her back, knees bent up. And really what we're working on with this exercise is your adductor muscles, which is the inside of your knee and hip joint. And what that's going to do is going to give you more stability when you're walking around, standing, and things like that. So we're going to take our towel, we're going to place it right in between her knees, and she's going to squeeze. Just hold it there for a little bit, not too much, just kind of keep it in place until we get you in the right position. We want to make sure your feet are spaced out around 6 to 8 inches apart, and you got that nice knees straight up. You don't want your knees too low or too high. You kind of want to maybe have about, I want to say 8 to 10 inches in between your heel and your butt. So this is going to be the same type of contract, relax exercise that we did before. So she's going to, instead we're going to squeeze for 10 seconds and relax for 10 seconds. You want to keep your core nice and tight, and we're going to have her just gently squeeze these together and count to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you want to get this nice contract and relax so you're really feeling the insides of your thighs, because in most people, they lack that lateral movement in their natural lifestyle. So you really want to make sure that you're strengthening all those muscles that'll help you move laterally to strengthen those knees and to keep you feeling healthy and active throughout your lifestyle. Step 8, we're going to be doing our straight leg raises. So we have 3 different types. We have a supine straight leg raise, which is where you're going to be laying on your back. We have a side lying abductor straight leg raise, and also a seated flexion straight leg raise for your hip flexor. So we're going to start with the supine laying down straight leg raise. And I'm going to have Tanya bring her right leg down. We're going to start with this side. So I'm going to have her heel, this is her base plant leg. So this is where she's going to get some of her power from. About 8 inches from heel to butt. And now we want to make sure that this other leg, the activation leg, is nice and straight and in line with the rest of her body. You want to be working with your body, not against it. So I'm going to have her bring her toes all the way up. She's going to squeeze that quad, and she's going to raise it up nice and slowly to be equal with this other leg. That's just a good reference point for you. You don't want to go too high or too low. And then nice and slow and controlled down, and a light, gentle tap with your heel on the carpet. You don't want to be that person that's letting your heel come slam down. You're missing that eccentric contraction that we're looking for as you're going slow and controlled. So she's going to work through 10 of those. Nice, tight core. She's doing a great job. Where do you feel this?
In my quad.
Right in the quad,
Yeah.
right in the front. Even the strongest people will feel this exercise because it's so isolated. It's a rehabilitation exercise used in offices all over the place. So you're going to do 10 reps on your right side. You're going to do 10 reps on your left side. And then we're going to jump into the next type of straight leg raise, which is going to be a sideline abduction straight leg raise. So I'm actually going to have Tanya face this way. Sideline. We can bring this towel out. If you have a hard floor, please keep that towel handy. So now that we have her sideline, the base leg is going to be bent. She's going to be nice in perfect alignment to her side. Now she has her elbow down. You can have your elbow down. You can have it out. Really what makes you feel comfortable when you're in this sideline position. Now, same thing. We're going to lock the ankle up, squeeze the quad, and we're going to do a straight leg raise to the side. Just about that. Now, you don't want to go too far forward because then you're going to start to teeter-totter and you're not going to be hitting the main focus exercise that we're looking for. We're really trying to work this outer portion. Like I was talking about before with your lateral movements, you really want to strengthen this. It's one of those underdeveloped muscles, especially for the knee. So we're going to do 10 reps on this side. And then when she's done with that, she's going to flip over and face the opposite direction and do another 10 reps on the other side. And once she's completed those, we're ready to move on to our next straight leg raise, which is going to be our seated flexion. We're going to have Tanya scooch back a little bit so her back is up against this couch. So we're almost in the same position as the quad set, but for this one now, we're working on the hips. So for this exercise, I'm going to have her, we're going to start with the right leg first. I'm going to have her bring her toes all the way up, squeezing that quad. And now she's going to try to lift this heel up about 4 to 6 inches. Now she has awesome range of motion. A lot of people aren't going to be able to do this exercise as high as her. So even if it's a couple inches, that's okay. Try to get that activation, try to get up as much as you can, and we're going to do 10 reps of that. And you should be feeling it up deep, high in the hip flexor. So we're going to go 10 reps, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Now, this is one of the very few exercises where you can isolate the hip flexor in a controlled setting like this. Step 9 is going to be a single leg step down. Now, we have a couple different options out here. We have a step that you might find at the gym, a yoga block, books, or even in your home, you might just have a staircase. Just make sure you're using the bottom step, and you can also use your hands on the rail to help you out too if you're having difficulty with some of these exercises. So we're gonna work through the single leg step. We're gonna start with her left foot. We're gonna get her positioned a little bit close to, actually I would move over just a little bit. Let's get you closer towards the side, perfect. So with the single leg step, we're gonna have her first just start off just balancing on it. Kind of getting comfortable with the position, making sure that she's in the right spot. Now, I'm gonna have you bring your toes all the way up on your right side. You're gonna get that nice quad contraction and slowly bring yourself down for a little heel tap and then back up. Now, we're gonna work through 10 of these. Now, what's really important with this exercise and why I threw it in this Ageless Knees program is because you're gonna notice her hips are getting a little bit of shifting. Now, what that's doing is that's actually strengthening up her hips to make sure that all those muscles are firing around the knee. A lot of times knee pain could be starting from your hip, which is super, super important why we add this in. And also notice it's a single leg exercise, so we're eliminating maybe any problems from the other side. After you're done with this leg, you're gonna move to the other side of the step and do the other leg. for another set of 10, making sure your core is tight, nice, slow, controlled movements. Step 10, we're gonna be doing a wall sit. Now, this might scare you and you might be intimidated by a wall sit, but I'm gonna show you the way to do it where it's modified and we could slowly work you down into that full squat position. So don't be afraid. We're gonna be able to kind of work our way slowly. So we're gonna start with position. I'm gonna have her feet around shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more, toes pointed out, fantastic. Back up against the wall, chest nice and straight. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna slowly start to come down a little bit. Now I'm gonna pause you right here. This might be a position for some of you who can't get into a full wall sit. Now you're still gonna get the benefits, you're still gonna get some quad activation. So if you're having pain, I would rather you stay in this position and this is where you're gonna be. And then as the program progresses, as you continue to do this, you're gonna slowly be able to go down deeper and deeper and deeper. So let's go a little bit more further. So this is a full wall sit. Now, knees are coming over the toes. You wanna make sure your knees are coming out and not in. Really focusing on the core, keeping tight, and pushing through a full foot. Meaning you don't wanna be pushing too much on your toes or your heels. You want your weight nice and evenly distributed as you're pushing yourself into the wall. So she's gonna hold that for 30 seconds. And once that 30 seconds is complete, you can come back up. And that's how you do a wall sit. Step 11, we're gonna do a single leg balance exercise. And this is gonna be another exercise to help strengthen up that entire chain from hip to ankle. So I'm gonna have Tanya come in. We're gonna have her step around 2 feet away from your closest couch. You can use a couch or a bench, anything that you can use for reference. So I'm gonna have her pick a leg. We can start with the right leg. Awesome. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna get that nice balanced posture. We're gonna have her give a slight knee bend and she's gonna lean forward with her right hand and touch the right side of the couch. Perfect. And then back, reset. Then she's gonna go down and touch the middle portion. Back, reset, all the way over. Perfect. And now she's gonna switch hands. So we're really trying to work balance from both sides. So now you're gonna use your left hand and we're gonna come over here. And you're gonna do the same thing. So left, middle, and the other side. Perfect. And let's switch to the other side. Let's do the other side. So remember, you wanna make sure nice solid foundation with your feet, really making sure that your weight is distributed throughout the ankle completely. So you're gonna notice she's getting that little bit of wobble. Everybody should have that, and that's a good thing. It's healthy for you because we're really working that whole stabilization joint of the hip, knee, and ankle. And that looks great. So this concludes our coaching video. Next up is going to be our follow along routine with Tanya. Please feel free to reference this video if you need to come back and relearn the exercises. It's always going to be there for you. And we'll see you in the next video.